Today we are doing our subscription box try-on where we try on all of our subscription box makeup that we've gotten throughout the month. So we have Boxycharm, we have Ipsy, just the regular one,
yes.
We have Ipsy Plus, we do not have
Sadly,
Slay.
we do not have Slay.
It's just always so late. So we will probably still try to unbox it.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
as soon as we get it.
Hopefully in the month of February, but maybe not. I don't know. It's just gonna depend on when it gets here. So, we've already tried on the makeup, obviously. We have our thoughts on everything.
You'll have to see what our thoughts are.
Yeah, you'll have to keep watching if you want to see. But there's a lot of
a lot
of makeup this time. Sometimes there's just a little.
I know. Last month I had like barely anything because we didn't have Slay, and so like I had like 3, maybe 4 products. It was so sad. But today I had a lot more, and like we had foundation. I mean, we had like a vast array of products. So
yeah, but before we get into the video, go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you are not already, and hit the post notification bell so you're notified when we do upload. I am using the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation that I got in my Boxycharm, and I'm actually applying it with the flat foundation brush.
And I'm using the Wonder Beauty Nude Illusion liquid foundation, and I'm also going to use the same brush.
Okay, so the foundation, I really like it. It is just very lighter than what I'm typically used to when I'm like self-tan and stuff. But it does have pretty good coverage. It's not really a matte foundation, but it's not a dewy foundation either. It's kind of like a satin finish, almost, kind of. But the brush, I didn't like the brush at all. It's just not comparable to the ones that I already use, which I use either the AOA Studio, which is from Shop Miss A, so it's pretty inexpensive, and then I use the Farrah Stippling 40 FM. So these are better in my opinion than the brush that I used today. So yeah.
Okay, so the Wonder Beauty, I really like it. It's got pretty good coverage, and I have to say, when we swatched it, it looked really dark, like a lot darker than my skin tone. It is darker than what I typically wear, but I really like it. And in the summer, I do, get out and I get a touch of color on me, so I'm probably going to put this aside until the summer whenever I've got some color. And I mean, it's not like crazy dark. The brush, I typically use a sponge. This is a sponge from AOA, Shop Miss A, and it's $1.55.
Yeah, something like that. So
yeah, like 55 cents. It's actually $1, and you're donating 55 cents to the pet foundation or whatever that the Paw
charity or something.
I did not mind the brush. I did not see that it left like streaks. Like, I have a brush that I have used with foundation before, and it kind of leaves like brush streaks, and I don't like that. I don't like. But this has the kind of the same finish. It's not a matte, and it's not like a illuminating.
I feel like you look really dewy though, actually.
My nose does.
I'm like seeing a lot of dewiness, I feel like, on your skin. So we are going to go ahead and conceal. We didn't get a concealer. I did get a powder, but it's not one that I'm gonna bake with. But I did get some Luxie sponges that this is the smallest one. It is already wet, so I'm gonna blend out my concealer with this and then bake with this as well. Okay,
so I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape. Again, I didn't get a concealer. I'm going to use this brush that we got in our Ipsy Plus. It is the Kabuki brush, and so I'm going to try to kind of, blend out my concealer with this brush. the brush, I was not a fan. Not for blending out concealer. It didn't really do a very good job of blending. And then whenever I started, you know, kind of blending on my nose, it started picking up some of the foundation. And so I was like, okay, I'm switching over to my sponge so that I can pat it on and blend it out that way so that I don't lose my foundation. So I'm not going to be using this for concealer. I'll try to find something else to use it with.
All right, so while I'm baking, I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face. I have the Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. I'm pretty sure like it's just like a translucent powder. So I typically don't bake with a translucent.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna set the rest of my face with it.
And I didn't get a powder, but I did get this pretty little brush in Ipsy, just the regular Ipsy. So I'm gonna be using this. It is just a face brush by the Beauty Crop. And so I'm gonna be using that to set the rest of my face.
Oh my gosh, it smells really strong like coconut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I don't mind. Okay, so the powder it's nice. It's just a translucent powder. I don't feel like it's anything special in my opinion, but it's not bad either. So.
Yeah. This little brush was pretty decent, but I'm used to using a bigger, fluffier brush, so it was a little bit different. It seemed like it took me a little bit longer, but it's a pretty decent little brush.
Okay, so neither of us got a bronzer nor a bronzer brush. I mean, technically a brush, but I think we're both going to use it for blush. So we're going to go ahead and bronze and do our brows off camera. So I got a blush and highlight, and she did not. So I am going to be using the blush that I got. This is from the Balm. It is the Auto Balm Girl Powder Cheeks on the Go in the shade Houston. And I'm using the Angle Contour brush from the brush set that we got in our Ipsy Plus. Okay, so the blush is a really, really pretty shade. I love that. The brush though is like way too dense. I feel like for a blush, it just picks up too much product. I'm not a fan of that. So the highlight that I got was actually the K Voss Fairy Dust Pressed Highlighter in the shade Moonlight. Okay, so that is highlight on. I think it's an okay highlight. I don't love it. I don't love the color of it. It's more of like a pinky kind of color, but it almost comes off a little grayish. So I don't love that. So not my favorite. We're gonna move on to lips instead of eyes first. Sometimes I just want to cover the lips. So I actually I took it out of the box. I think it was like Belle and Argent or something like that.
That might be right.
But it is in the shade 3 Plays. It is, yeah, Belle and Argent. It says on the bottom, a Tour Matte Lip Color. So I'm excited. It's a really pretty shade. So.
And I'm using the Colored Rain Matte Lip Paint, and it is the shade 24/7, and it's actually a really pretty color as well.
I'm first going to line my lips with the Jante Blue lip liner in the shade 935 Dark Natural. Like, this is like my lip color.
Yeah, that's your lip color.
Like, I love these types of colors. So I ain't mad about it.
Mine's a little bit rich, but I do like kind of these berry colors as well. And it actually feels pretty nice. It feels a little bit drier than what I usually use, which is Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lip. But it really does feel nice.
So moving on to eyes, I think we both got an eyeshadow palette in our Ipsy Plus. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Sweater Weather Eyeshadow Palette. It's a mini palette and it's all mattes, so that should be fun.
That should be fun.
But I think we both
matches me pretty well.
Oh yeah, it does. We both got like a mini eyeshadow, different eyeshadows. I got an IBY Beauty City Limits in the shade Headliner.
And I got The Balm, this is Pedal to the Metal. It's a cream eyeshadow, and I remember it being like super, super creamy. It is called Vava Vroom, and it's a really pretty, well, it's actually, the shade name is Turbo.
So just for the fun of makeup, I'm gonna actually take the Kabuki brush, and it's kind of dense, but not too dense. So I think I'm gonna use this as a transition, or for my transition shade, and I'm gonna go in with Toasty right here and put this all in the crease.
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and use Fuzzy and do that all over the lid, just to make sure that my eyelids are set. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with Sweater Weather, and I'm gonna use this as a transition color.
And while I'm here with the shade Toasty, I'm gonna bring it down on my lower lash line as well, and kind of connect it with the upper. Alright, so I'm going to take the shade Messy Bun, and I'm going to put this all over the lid, blending it a little bit into the crease, but not quite as high up as where I have the transition shade blended. And I'm just going to try to create a really smoky eye.
I'm actually using the exact same shade. I'm going to be using our new brush. This is the tapered blending brush, one of the set of 5 that we got from our Ipsy Plus.
And I think I'm going to actually use the shadow brush. With the IBY Beauty single eyeshadow in the shade Headliner, and I'm going to put this on the lid.
And I'm going to go in with The Balm. This is the shade Turbo. It is a cream shadow, and I normally would use my finger to put it on, but for the sake of using this little brush here, I'm going to use this shadow brush that we got in our Plus. The very final stage that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the Messy Bun again and line my eyes, and then that will complete the eye look. So I have to say I love this. I've never really tried Dominique Cosmetics before, and this is absolutely amazing. Like, I love the pigmentation. It goes on so smoothly, it blends out so well, and the balm is just, it's just incredible. Like, everything I've ever tried from the balm has just been great. I had never tried a cream eyeshadow. It worked super well with my finger. It turned out super pretty.
Yeah, that does look really good.
So pretty. So I'm in love with my makeup look. I'm really feeling it today.
Yeah, I really liked the Dominique Cosmetics. I've tried her formulas before, so I was not surprised that the quality is amazing. As I was like putting on the Messy Bun shade on my lid, I was just like, gosh, her matte shadows are so good. So I enjoyed that. The IBY Beauty I've actually never tried. I know you have a few palettes. So I was really impressed with that shade. I think it looks really good, and it went over the Messy Bun shade like really nicely. I feel like they were such a perfect match. So I'm loving it. So we're gonna
On to
move on to
mascara.
mascara. This is the last step. Neither of us got
Okay.
a mascara, so we're just gonna do that off camera.
Yes.
I'm using the Grande Drama Intense Thickening Mascara with castor oil. I got it last month, actually.
Yes, and I'm using on my top lashes because I'm extra. I'm using the ColourPop Volumizing Mascara, and on my bottom lashes is the Thrive Mascara. This is the Liquid Lash Extensions, and I'm getting low on this, and it does so well on my lower lash line that I'm like, okay, I gotta do 2 now,
So here are our finished looks. I really like the eyes. They are very dark for me.
They are very dark for you.
But I really like, I like the dark. I wish that I just would have had a bit darker foundation. But other than that, I think everything was pretty well good, right? I can't there's not,
A couple of the brushes were not.
the highlight is not my favorite.
Yeah. The blush brush and the kabuki brush were not my favorite.
Yeah, the foundation brush and the kabuki brush were not my favorite.
But everything else was really, really nice. I have to say that I really like all the makeup. I just wish that I would have gotten Slay.
Yeah.
So that I could try those products too.
Yeah, for sure.
So
let us know what you think of our makeup looks. Let us know what you think of the boxes this month. So Boxycharm, Ipsy Glam and Plus.
Yeah.
Wish I could say Slay, but
I
sadly
know.
that just keeps coming in so late.
late.
So yeah, I think that's actually it for this video.
We will have a couple videos linked right over here. The subscribe button is right down here. Until our next video.
Bye.